Hello everyone, welcome to a brand new episode of Spoilers, Recap, and Results with your host, the PCJ, Pop Culture Junkie here. We are just minutes from the end of the WWE Super Showdown. The Super Showdown pay-per-view that was held in Jeddah, or Saudi Arabia, whatever you want to call it, just ended, and it was a very interesting show. We got teased a lot on things. Some, predictability was, obvious here. There was a lot of matches that ended in very predictable, fashion. But let's go over the show, let's go over the card, and we'll discuss everything as we go along. So we kick off the show. We have a kickoff panel that is in a studio. Really looked like they recorded this, probably the day before or so. It didn't look like they had these individuals somewhere backstage doing this. They had to be still stateside. But we have the kickoff panel of Charlie Caruso, Beth Phoenix, and David Otunga. They're just talking about all the matches. They give us a full rundown of all the matches for tonight. They have two circle things next to their panel desk that pop up holograms of the competitors for whatever match they're talking about. That looked kind of cool. That would have been cool to see live in the arena, but anyways, we just get a rundown of all the matches, and in between their predictions for what they think might happen, we get interviews from random stars that are going to be in the 50-person Battle Royal later on. So we get some backstage interviews from Heavy Machinery, Rusev, and Ricochet. Heavy Machinery was actually really funny. I enjoyed that. We then go ringside and we see Corey Graves, Renee Young, and Michael Cole will be on commentary for the entire show. That was a great surprise. Glad to see Renee Young was there. Now, first of all, one thing they wanted to point out to us right away was how hot it is over there, okay? It's like 9 o'clock at night when the show started. The show here in Houston, it started at noon, the kickoff, and then at 1 o'clock, the actual pay-per-view started. They wanted to let us know right then and there, though, how hot it was. They said it was it was 94 degrees outside when the show started. And they said because of the inside, apparently they don't have air conditioning in their stadium, or for whatever reason. It is an open-top stadium, but you would think they would still have some type of AC. But no, there is no air conditioning units, anything like that. And it is an open top, of course, and they said it feels like it's 102. And they reminded us throughout the show, hey, it's currently 90 degrees outside, and it feels like 100 degrees in here, etc. They just kept on announcing that. And it was very obvious. Throughout the whole show, you could see the wrestlers sweating profusely, and I think that came into play in a few times during the matches. We'll get into that as well. And it just meant, you know what, you need to have better conditions. You should not be wrestling in this kind of conditions. Some people who are not spring chickens anymore, especially. We'll get to that in a minute. So we kick off on the kickoff show with a kickoff match. The Usos versus the Revival. Double super kick to Dash Wilder, and the Usos get the win. Not a whole lot to say about it. We go to the main show after we get the opening video package, and the first matchup is the Universal title match. Seth Rollins defending against Baron Corbin. Already there, you have people on social media blowing up going, oh, it's happening. Brock's going to cash in, because Seth Rollins won the title in the opening match of WrestleMania, so obviously Brock's going to come in and cash in. So as Seth Rollins makes his way to the ring, they show a replay on the Titantron of Brock Lesnar just beating the hell out of him on Monday Night Raw this past week. We don't get anything else as far as build-up between Corbin and Rollins. That was interesting. But it was nice that when the show started, we had some pyro, and then all throughout the show, we got pyro with everyone's entrances. So that was really great as well. On top of that, you had some really cool video screen images. They used the same staging as they did for WrestleMania this year. If you saw WrestleMania, you saw how the stage was just made up of a giant screen. It was just a big flat screen. There was no extra pieces surrounding the arena area, making it look a little more three-dimensional. It was just a big screen that they just kept putting different videos on. And that's what they used again for this show. Seemed kind of cheap, actually, because you'd think with all the money they're paying to have them come to their city and country and whatnot, that WWE would be like, oh, we got to make this look different than WrestleMania. But again, remember, the tagline was, this is just as good as WrestleMania, if not better. And they tried to remind us that all throughout the show. So again, our opening matchup is Seth Rollins versus Baron Corbin. Corbin works on Rollins' ribs throughout the whole match because, again, Brock Lesnar beat the hell out of Rollins with a steel chair. In the end, though, Rollins rolls up Corbin for the quick win with just a regular roll-up. Not, just out of nowhere. Afterwards, Corbin hits Rollins with the end of day, And then Brock Lesnar's music hits. Paul Heyman, a referee, and Lesnar carrying a steel chair come out to the ringside. As Heyman is getting in the ring, though, he falls, dropping the Money in the Bank briefcase inside the ring. Lesnar turns his attention away from Rollins, and that's when Rollins hits Brock with a low blow. Rollins then gets the chair, strikes Lesnar multiple times, then curb stomps Brock on the Money in the Bank briefcase and leaves. Then after a commercial break, we go back to the ring. Lesnar is still in the ring. He's kind of recovering. He gets out, he grabs the case, looks at Heyman, gives him a stare down. Heyman looks terrified, and then they slowly walk up to the ramp and to the backstage. And that's it. Our next matchup was the WWE Intercontinental title match. The Demon Finn Balor versus Andrade, with no Zelina Vega, of course, because she can't come to the ringside. We get a full Demon entrance, and there are multiple figures at the top of the stage dressed just like the Demon character, so that was interesting. Lots of good pyro. You get the full Demon entrance where he crawls down the ramp. You see the Intercontinental title there waiting for him to get it. That was really nice. Nice reminder of how cool the Demon character is. The Demon hits a top rope DDT, followed by the coup de grace, pin, and retains the title. Very good match. I really enjoyed this one. We then get more promos for the Battle Royal from The Miz and Jinder Mahal. Jinder Mahal reminds us to go check out social media, where yesterday he beat R-Truth on the tarmac of an airport and won the 24/7 title, to only be pinned later on the plane while he was asleep. And R-Truth won the title back, runs into one of the airplane restrooms, and just, I guess, stowed away in the bathroom the entire rest of the time till they landed. Next up, we get a video package of the Shane versus Roman Reigns feud. And our next matchup is Shane McMahon versus Roman Reigns. Shane makes his entrance. He has money shooting up into the sky. Drew McIntyre then comes out and gets into his corner. Roman then comes out. He Superman punches the stage and tons of pyro explodes. Shane gets his triangle hold on Roman, but Roman is able to power out. Roman went for a spear, but Shane kicks Roman in the face. Roman slaps Shane, who falls back, knocking over Charles Robinson, the referee. Roman then runs to the ropes, but Drew McIntyre gets into the ring, hits a Claymore kick, ducks back outside. Shane crawls over, gets the pin on Roman, and wins. We get a backstage interview now with Kofi Kingston. Next matchup is the 3-on-1 handicap match, Lucha House Party versus Lars Sullivan, the Freak. This match dragged a lot. And for a 3-on-1 match, I was expecting there to be some sort of weapons involved, tables, chairs, ladders, something, but I don't know if they were even allowed to use them or not. We did have a ladder match last year, so I don't know why they wouldn't be able to do it now. Who knows? But this match dragged on and on and on and on. Lars just beat up all the luchadors for a long time. Then finally, all three luchadors get into the ring. They all gang attack him, and then the referee says, nope, this is it, you're disqualified, and the match is ruled as a DQ. Then Lars beats up all the luchadors in the ramp, and that's it. He goes to the back. Next up, we have Triple H versus Randy Orton in the match that nobody needs to see again. Triple H comes out on his giant WrestleMania motorcycle without Stephanie McMahon, of course. This was another slow match to me, and it seemed like they were trying to play the roles of we're, legendary titans who, the little bit of move we do to each other, just has such impact that it wears out your opponent right away. And it dragged on. Now, I think one thing right there is they were trying to do that, but the other thing is it's like 100 degrees in the ring. The wrestlers, again, Orton especially, he looked like he was about to pass out many times during this match. He looked very dehydrated. He just didn't seem like he was ready for this kind of element. And it looked like, he's going to pass out at any moment now. We get a lot of back and forth moments, of course. RKO at one point with a pinfall, but kick out. We again get a pedigree from Triple H, but kick out. Then Triple H backdropped Randy Orton 4 times on the announce tables outside by the ring, but it never broke. I don't know if it was supposed to, but it seemed like he just kept doing it and was getting a little frustrated, so maybe it was supposed to break. I don't know. Triple H then rolls Orton back into the ring right after this, and in true Randy Orton fashion, he no-sells all the damage that Triple H had just done to him, hits an RKO, pinfall, and that's it. Yeah, just out of nowhere, and no sell at all. Next up, we get a video recap of the whole R-Truth Jinder Mahal 24/7 title changes, which was leading me to believe at some point we're going to see R-Truth show up in some way, and somebody's going to try to get the title from him, but spoiler alert, we never see R-Truth. He's not even in the Battle Royal. I don't even know what the point of this was. Next up, we have Byron Saxton interviewing Baron Corbin, who is complaining about his loss to Rollins. He's going to get some kind of revenge. We go back outside of the ring, and it is time for the Braun Strowman versus Bobby Lashley match. Another very slow match, okay? This one again, though, you have 2 monsters, as they were calling it. And, you know, once again, oh, I'm a monster. I don't have to do a whole lot. One punch and you go down and whatnot. And that's true with Braun Strowman. He should be, you know, the monster among men, as they call him. But he's been watered down so much in the last year. Strowman hits a running power slam for the win. That's it. Then we get some more backstage promos for the Battle Royal participants from Ali and Samoa Joe. Next up, we have the WWE title match, Kofi Kingston versus Dolph Ziggler. Kofi Kingston comes out with Xavier Woods. Dolph Ziggler gets a very blah entrance, nothing special. Thanks to some outside interference by Xavier Woods, Kofi Kingston is able to hit Trouble in Paradise for the win. I don't understand how this is Kofi Kingston is a face or a heel when you have Xavier Woods purposely interfering to help you get the win. It just, yeah. I know Dolph earlier in the match, he hit Xavier Woods at one point, but you're supposed to be the WWE champion and you're the face. You shouldn't be winning with outside interference. Afterwards, Kofi Kingston got to celebrate on the turnbuckles. He went over to the ringside area where a whole bunch of little kids came over and, like, you know, tried to get him to sign stuff and celebrate with them. It seemed like they were really purposely dragging out this celebration. And any moment now, we're thinking, here comes Lesnar. Okay, he didn't get to cash in on Rollins, so now he's going to cash in on Kofi. But no, they fade to black and go on to another video package. And we never saw Brock Lesnar come out again. Backstage, during Kofi Kingston's celebration, Saxton is interviewing Dolph. Dolph says he's not done. He wants Kofi Kingston in a steel cage, which makes sense because you lost because Xavier Woods interfered in the match without the referee seeing it. So, okay, we're going to see a rematch, maybe on SmackDown. I don't think it'll be Stomping Ground, but who knows? That's the next pay-per-view, by the way, in 2 weeks, Stomping Ground, where they're going to kick names and take ass. Yeah. All right, next up we have the 50-man Battle Royal, the biggest Battle Royal in WWE history, as they were trying to say. Now, I tried to keep track of how many participants really were in this match. I didn't get to count all of them, and I'm going to read off the ones I saw as they were coming out. They had about 20 or 30 of them come out all at once, and then a few got actual entrances. So these are some of the participants that were in the match. I'm not sure if this is all of them or not. The Miz, Samoa Joe, Jinder Mahal, Cedric Alexander, Cesaro, AOP, B-Team, Xavier, Bobby Roode, The Revival, Usos, Ricochet, Titus O'Neil, Shelton Benjamin, Ryder, Hawkins, yes, the Raw Tag Team Champions, Elias, No Way Jose, Rusev, Chad Gable, Shinsuke Nakamura, Heath Slater, Eric Young, Gallows and Anderson, the Singh Brothers, Heavy Machinery, Matt Hardy, the Viking Raiders, Sin Cara, yes, Sin Cara's back, Brian Kendrick, Ali, Buddy Murphy, Tony Nese, Apollo, Rowan, and a newcomer named Mansoor, who, if you recall from last year when they did the Saudi shows, we were introduced to this person. He's from this area. He's from the local area here. So we get down to the final. Well, first of all, the match is very difficult to pay attention to because you have 50 people in this match, and there were a lot of moments where you would have the camera going back and forth too many times. You just need to have a stationary camera and no camera angles. Don't worry about that. Just, you know, you can see people getting eliminated as you just watch from one point of view. But they kept wanting to jump the camera angles back and forth to different sides, and you would not get to see certain people getting eliminated. Very distracting. At one point, there's a good 20 to 30 of the participants surrounding the floor of the ring, as in they're all knocked out against the ropes surrounding the ring inside it. And this gives the 3 tag teams of AOP, Heavy Machinery, and Viking Raiders a moment to have a 3-way stare down, and then they begin brawling. That was nice. It was a nice, you know, NXT, you know, pop right there. And it was interesting because during several of the matches, they would have a small NXT chant happen, which was, you know, nice as well. We get down to the final 6. The final 6 were Ricochet, Ali, Elias, Samoa Joe, Cesaro, and Mansoor. We get down to the final 2, and it's Mansoor and Elias. And can you guess who won? Mansoor eliminated Elias, and the local hero is your winner of the 50-man Battle Royal. Yes, a rookie who has not really had a match who hasn't had a match in WWE. Maybe, I know he's been on NXT, I think. He won a Battle Royal that consisted of the Raw Tag Team Champions, the U.S. Champion, many former Intercontinental Champions, many former U.S. Champions, The Miz, a former WWE Champion, Matt Hardy, a former ECW Champion. I mean, there's so many people in this match that are like, wait, this person? But again, we know why. Now we go to the main event, Undertaker versus Goldberg. Undertaker comes out with full Undertaker entrance. One of the best entrances he's ever had. You have caskets lined up across the entire stage we see druids on opposite sides of the stage holding torches, walking in a line towards each other, just in passing, and then they walk off the sides of the stage. Then the music hits, you hear the gong hit multiple times, purple lightning comes up, you have the fog, yeah, and you have the purple lighting and the screen with the clouds and everything. Everything looks great. Then the gong hits more and more, and then his music plays, and then Undertaker rises from underneath the stage. Looks really awesome. Full entrance, of course. Comes all the way out to the ring. Does his turn the lights up. Everything gets in there. Goldberg made his entrance before Undertaker. He did his typical backstage. You have 4 guys knocking on the door saying it's time. And when Goldberg comes out of the back of his locker room, he's already got a red dot on his forehead because he headbutted something. And then he comes out, full pyro, he gets his full Goldberg entrance, which is nice to see. Then we get a stare down. The bell rings. Undertaker goes to do his thumb across his neck, and as soon as he does that, he eats a spear from Goldberg. They get up, Goldberg spears him one more time, goes for a quick pin, but Undertaker does kick out. Undertaker now sits up, he tries for a choke slam, but Goldberg grabs him, rolls into a leg hold, which was really messy looking. Goldberg then goes for a spear in the corner, but Undertaker moves out of the way, and Goldberg hits the ring post and gets bloody very fast. Undertaker then hits old school. Goldberg is now on the rope, trying to hold himself up. Undertaker hits a choke slam, signals for the tombstone, hits the tombstone, 1, 2, kicks out. Then we get double clothesline by the two of them. They're both down. Undertaker then goes for a big boot, but he runs into another spear. Goldberg sets up for the jackhammer, but it turned into a very nasty brain bust. Literally dropped Undertaker on his head. It was not a good jackhammer at all. He does go for the pin, but Undertaker kicks out. Undertaker, you can see on his face, is pissed. Goldberg then goes for a tombstone of his own, and we've seen this before where Undertaker and his opponent will flip each other into the tombstone. Like one person has it ready, then they flip backwards, and the other one stands up holding the other one up for the tombstone, then they flip again, etc. Well, Undertaker goes to do that. He is behind Goldberg. He goes to pick up Goldberg, but he can't pick him up, and they both just drop to the ground. Undertaker looks even more pissed now. He picks up Goldberg. He gets him for a choke slam, hits the choke slam, pins him, and then 1, 2, 3, the match is over. Then you see the Undertaker close up on camera, which I don't think they should have done, actually, because Undertaker is just standing there, and he looks furious. Not a good match. He's mad about, getting dropped on his head. He's not happy about the way the match ended, because it was supposed to be a tombstone, not a choke slam. So he did not look happy at all. Finally, Undertaker's waiting for his music to play, hit the right note, then he kneels in the ring, does his pose. Lightning, goes off, and, the gong and everything. Crowd gets a big pop, tons of pyro shoots off, and then we see Undertaker just slowly walking out of the ring. They don't even do the part where he gets to the top and raises up his fist or anything. As soon as he got out of the ropes, the show went off the air, and that was it. So very great start to the match with you have Goldberg and Undertaker. You're not going to get a 15-minute, 20-minute match with the entrances, yeah. But yeah, the match itself was what it was. It was just two legends putting on a good spectacle show, and the entrances alone were entertaining, and I loved it. I loved the entrance for The Undertaker no matter what. That was probably one of his best I've ever seen. All right, so that's it. That was the entire show. It was, like I said on my predictions video, it is a glorified house show when they go out here. I didn't expect to see any real title changes, but everyone thought there was the chance that Brock was going to cash in. He never showed up again after the match he had against Seth. After Seth curb stomped him, that was the last we saw of Lesnar. We didn't even see him backstage contemplating coming out to cash in on Kofi, which I thought that would have been the best time. Go ahead, cash it in, get the belt off Kofi, get the belt on Lesnar, and you got it ready for the Fox deal and whatnot, because Fox is going to want Lesnar on SmackDown. So let me know in the comment section if you happen to watch the show. What did you think? Share your thoughts. Do you think they can do better next time? Do you think they need to continue these shows? Let me know your true thoughts and feelings. All right, everybody. Well, thanks for listening and watching. I hope if you did see the show, you enjoyed it. And I will see y'all again later. This is PCJ, the Pop Culture Junkie, signing out.